Hey everyone, welcome back to Body Bags. What I've got for you tonight is a review of a movie that I'm actually really late to the game on. This came out in, I think, it was 2003, and I've always been kind of interested in this movie, but I've never actually got around to, picking it up and everything. Then, I saw it was on a reasonable price, so I decided to pick it up, and that is Bong Joon-ho's Memories of Murder. Um, Bong Joon-ho, he did Parasite, he did The Host, he's done a lot of good movies, Snowpiercer and everything. This is one of his earlier films, and what makes it's an interesting story because it follows. Essentially, you got these murders that are happening, and it's a Korean film, obviously. Bong Joon Ho. You got these murders that are happening in Korea, and your main detective guy, sort of what well, it's kind of like the whole police force, really. What they just kind of do is they just kind of get somebody for it, and then really goofy cats fighting again. Uh, they get someone for it, and they essentially beat them until they confess to it, and then that's kind of it. Um, really? Come on. Uh, so, it's not the greatest police work. What ends up happening is this other cop comes in from Seoul. He's more by the book. He's more, you know, like more follow the rules of the law, if you will. Um, so they're trying to find this killer. What this killer does is he rapes and kills women on rainy nights, and the women are always wearing red. And like earlier in the night, he always requests a certain song on the radio. So this isn't picked up by our first detective guy. Um, it's picked up by this guy from Seoul and like this female detective who they don't really pay any real attention to until eventually, she's like, damn it, listen. And then they sort of figure it out. So it's following these murder cases and everything. At one point, they have this guy. He's like, I don't want to say he's retarded, but he's not mentally retarded, but he's kind of slow, we'll say. And yeah, they beat the living shit out of this guy. I mean, they essentially get him to confess to everything. But what it turns out is, yeah, he's confessing to it because he saw it, he witnessed it. So, you know, they end up sort of figuring out who it is, but then there's back and forth. Like the DNA is like not 100% match and everything. Um, I'll leave it at there. It's a really really interesting film, honestly. The acting is quite solid. Um, there's not really that many effects. The effects that are in it are quite good. I mean, it's not overly gory or anything. Like, you don't really see any blood or anything. Everything is done more by suggestion, and it works quite well. And also, this movie has a dark, dark ending to it. If you've watched my reviews before, if you've watched my channel, if you've watched me on Body Bags, you know I have a thing for dark endings. If a movie deserves a dark ending, it should get it. You shouldn't tack on a happy ending. This doesn't have a happy ending. Will I say it's like as dark as you could go? Maybe not necessarily, but it's dark in that it paints a picture of like everything that we've gone through for this. Like, it's a 2 hour and 40 minute movie. Everything we've gone through has been completely for nothing. It's a really like almost like nihilistic ending, and it fits really well. This movie does have this tonal thing, which is kind of funny. The first kind of hell, maybe 3/4 of the movie has this almost like a level of almost comedy to it, like very like dark humor, but it has this level of sort of like you chuckle at some stuff and everything. By the end, it gets dark as hell, and it's great. I love it. Um, all in all, this movie, I give this 10 out of 10. This is one of the best films I've seen in a long time, and I regret sleeping on it as long as I did. Um, this particular release from Criterion is a double disc, and it's like loaded with features and everything. There's how many? Uh, two. I think there's 2 or 3 commentaries on it. Um, One of the interesting features is, though, on the first disc, there's an interview with Guillermo del Toro, where he's just going on and on about, Bong Joon-ho and, like, how talented a filmmaker he is. And it's really interesting to watch because, we know how good a filmmaker Guillermo is. And when you hear him talking about, like, another filmmaker, it makes you like do like not necessarily do a double take on the movie, but like think like yeah like that actually I wasn't thinking about it when I was watching it like right away, but yeah, there was some really solid filmmaking going on there. Also, I haven't watched this one. But there's an interview with Bong Joon Ho about the real life serial killer that this movie was based on. This is I don't know if I want to say it was based on a true story as it was based on like a real serial killer. You know, I don't think any of the events of this movie happened the way it did in real life. I could be wrong, but is what it is. All in all, though, a really solid film. Really solid release by Criterion, and if you can pick it up, I definitely recommend it. So yeah, Memories of Murder by Bong Joon-ho. Don't sleep on this. If you've seen like The Host and you've seen Parasite and everything, let's put it this way: don't think that this director peaked later in his career. He's been good the whole way up. So go back and look at some of the older stuff. It's just damn good. So yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.